Senior Masseny Kaba and Senior Brittney Smith. We will have the coach give her opening statement, and then we will open to questions inside the room. Anybody that's out on our Zoom call, if you want to raise your hand, we will call upon y'all one at a time. Coach, if you want to start out for us.
We're just happy to be here in the second round, and I thought we did a really good job of doing all the tough things, meaning out rebounding them, and by 30, that's really big. We were getting loose balls, hustle plays. They're a really tough team to guard, very tough team to guard, especially in our matchup. I thought we did a little better job this time playing against them in the press. So, oh look, I can see myself. Okay. But I thought these two really did a good job. They did they were the first half, they were double teaming them. And so we just got better ball movement in the second half. And our team did a good job of getting them the ball when we needed to get them the ball, because obviously you guys see that they're a little undersized compared to us. So we really wanted to get it in the post. We just kept them down in their zone the whole time, 2 posts down, and try to reverse the ball, be very patient. So our team did a good job. We had 22 assists, and most of those assists were from our guards getting the ball to these two.
All right, we'll have questions down here.
Yes, Coach, was the thinking kind of after they went on that 8-0 run to start the third quarter, we're just going to slow everything down and milk the inside? Like you said, the 50 to 20 rebounding edge and the 25 offensive rebounds. You really just have to slow the game down after they went on that big run to start the third quarter.
Well, the start of the third quarter, I don't think we were really warmed up enough, to be honest. We didn't look like we were moving very fast. So I definitely needed to call a timeout and get us kind of refocused defensively, because we get all of our energy from defense, and we just really had to do a couple different things. Can't tell you what it is because we've got more games to play, but we just had to do a couple more different things defensively to really stop them. I think number 12, Mayberry, she's a phenomenal player, and that freshman is, she does a really good job for him. I mean, we did a good job of getting her in foul trouble because she's dangerous. The freshman, number 2.
All right, we'll go to Kyle Nash on the Zoom.
Coach, we've come to see that defense be such a force that it has been in the paint especially. But what I thought was interesting is how Poindexter and Mayberry both were in foul trouble at the same time from trying to help defend that press. So was that an instance kind of the lower game affecting the game in the arc as well?
I can't hear him. Something about the Mayberry and somebody else.
Hey, Kyle, if you don't mind asking one more time, we're going to turn up the volume inside the room for you.
No problem. Thank you very much. Coach, obviously we had Tamira Poindexter and Mayberry were a big factor there. They're more effective on the arc, but your post game was so overwhelming. They were trying to kind of double team and step in to help that and got into foul trouble. At some point at this same time in the third quarter, they were both on the bench. How big was that?
I think, yeah, definitely. That's kind of what I was saying, that in 21 too. I mean, Destiny, kind of started us off in the game, just getting offensive rebound and putbacks and being strong with the ball. And Destiny really drew some fouls to start with in the first quarter and getting them in foul trouble, and especially number 2. We know they're undersized, and obviously the last game we played against them, they were doubling Moss, doubling Britt, and they were coming from weak side. And I just told our post players just to make sure that they grabbed every ball really strong and bring it up instead of grabbing it and keeping it down, because they're just coming at it so hard. So, that was one of the game plans, to get some people in foul trouble. So it worked.
Kyle, any questions for the student athletes?
Yeah, Masseny, career high 23 today. How big is that to pull that off in tournament play?
It's big for me. I'm not saying never satisfied, but I'm never satisfied. I feel like when I come into the game, I always have to, help our team. And that's what I did today. At first, I was a little slow. I wasn't making shots, but I redeemed myself after halftime, and I made my layups after.
All right, any questions, Kyle?
That'll be good for me for now. Thank you.
Jason with the Orlando Sentinel.
Coach, you mentioned the other day talking about your press and how it's kind of like survival of the fittest. But when you're in a conference tournament playing back-to-back days, or that's the plan you hope if you advance, now you have a matchup tomorrow at 5 o'clock. What comes with the challenge of running your press on back-to-back days like that?
I don't think it's a challenge for us, to be honest. We're in really good shape. I think it's back-to-back games for a lot of different teams, and playing against our press that's hard. and you could see that the Tulsa got a little tired because they had to play a game yesterday, and now we're pressing them. And then, Mayberry, she had to break the press by herself, and so did 21. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot to do. So I think for us, it's just really trying to wear the other team's point guards out. So I think we're, one of the fittest teams, in the country right now. And it's because every time we press, we're actually exercising more and staying in great shape.
Any other questions, Jason?
I'm good. Thank you.
All right, we're going to go to Eric Lopez.
First, for the student athletes, to both of you, just talk about your teammates passing the ball in the post, because they fed you in perfect spots there with perfect passing to set you both up. Just talk about that, your teammates passing there in the post.
Okay, so depending on the game, they're either going to guard the post or they're going to guard the guards, and we learned that really quickly in the first quarter. And today they decided to guard the guards. So the guards knew, pass it in, and we're going to do what we can to get us up and handle the game.
Moss, talk about, was there like the rebounding? You dominated the boards, you and Britt, was that like something being physical with them? Was that part of it there, to have that mindset to be physical and just grab every rebound?
I mean, yeah, they were undersized, so we should grab every rebound. I mean, that's always the goal with me, Britt, and Destiny. I mean, we're beast players, and that's what we did today.
Question for Coach. Coach, first game in the conference tournament, was there any, did you sense any kind of nerves there? It's always weird when you play that first game in the tournament. I know you've talked about that in the past. Did you sense any of that from your team today?
I just think it's very weird for any team to play the first game, especially when you don't get a shoot on the floor. I mean, we couldn't because it was at 5 a.m. Like, really not going to shoot on the floor at 5 a.m. Right. So, I think we just had to get a good feel, and the balls are different too, so I think everybody that plays in a conference tournament, everything's just new and it's just a different environment. But after you play your first game, you kind of get used to it a little bit more. And now we'll have some time tomorrow to get even more comfortable with the floor. And honestly, playing the first game it's awesome, because now we're done. We know we can advance, and now we can kind of watch the other teams play.
What are some of the things you want to work on for tomorrow there, especially defensively there? Tulsa hit 12 threes. Was that them just making good shots, or was that some missed assignments defensively?
They are going to go 5 out, dribble drive you. And they're really tough to guard. I mean, they're just hard to guard, and so that's just prepared us for all the other teams in front of us to come. I mean, I think that she's doing a really good job her first year with this team. They play super hard, super tough. And, now they got their system down. We all know what they're going to do for the next year. Obviously in this conference, they're going to be a 3-point shooting team. The last time we played them, they took 26 threes and made 11. Tonight, they took 34 threes and made 12 of them. So they really didn't have any post play.
All right, question inside the room.
Coach, you mentioned that the team wasn't necessarily ready to play to start the third quarter. What lesson do you think you can draw from that going into the next
I didn't
game?
say they weren't ready to play. I said they weren't warmed up.
Okay, my apologies there.
That we just got to get out of the halftime a little quicker and get them moving. And playing Tulsa, they're just high energy team, which is great. She's doing a great job with them, So we just came out a little flat, and so obviously every coach in the country's got to call a timeout and just get everybody refocused, and because we had a lead and then they tied it up. I mean, that's just something that we got to make sure that we don't let people do when we got a lead. And they hit 2 threes, I think.
Any questions from the Zoom crowd? All right, that's a wrap. Thank y'all.
Thank you.